Chapter 17, The Joys of Misery. Among all elite U.S. forces, the Marine Corps is unique in that its standards for strength, athleticism, and physical hardiness are not exceptional. What separates Marines instead is their capacity to endure adversity. Marines take a perverse pride in having colder chow, crappier equipment, and higher casualty rates than any other service. This notion goes back to Belleau Wood and earlier, but it came into its own during the exceptionally bloody and punishing battles at Tarawa and Iwo Jima, the Chosin Reservoir, and Kishan. Marines take pride in enduring hell. Nothing infuriates Marines more than to learn that some particularly nasty and dangerous assignment has been given to the Army instead of to them. It offends their sense of honor. This is another key element of the warrior ethos, the willing and eager embracing of adversity. In 1912, the Antarctic explorer Ernest Shackleton was seeking volunteers for an expedition to the South Pole. He placed the following ad in the London Times. Men wanted for a hazardous journey, small wages, bitter cold, long months of complete darkness, constant danger, safe return doubtful, honor and recognition in case of success. The next morning, 5,000 men lined up to volunteer. The payoff for a life of adversity is freedom. There is a story of the tribes in ancient Afghanistan when Alexander was preparing to invade the wildlands of Scythians in 333 BC. A tribal delegation came to him and warned him, for his own good, to stay away. In the end, the Scythes told Alexander, "You and your army will come out to grief, as all invaders have in the past, including our friend Cyrus the Great, who was killed north of Mazar-e-Sharif and whose body was never recovered." "You may defeat us," said the tribal elders, "but you will never defeat our poverty." What the Scythians meant was that they could endure greater adversity even than Alexander and his Macedonians. When the Spartans and their allies overcame the Persians at Plataea in 479 BC, the spoils included the great pavilion tents of King Xerxes, along with the king's cooks, wine stewards, and kitchen servants. For a joke, the Spartan king Pausanias ordered the Persian chefs to prepare a typical dinner, the kind they would make for the Persian king. Meanwhile, he had his own cooks whip up a standard Spartan meal. The Persian chefs produced a lavish banquet composed of multiple courses, served on golden plates and topped off by the most sumptuous cakes and delicacies. The Spartans' grub was barley bread and pig's blood stew. When the Spartans saw the two meals side by side, they burst out laughing. "How far the Persians have traveled," declared Pausanias, "to rob us of our poverty."